I mentioned in my review for Sky's Fall by Will Forrest that there was a little short story slash novella at the back of this book that I had yet to read, and now I've read it, so I want to give you my opinions. It's called The Marvelous Mr. Strike, A Tale of Elswyn, and I loved it. It was really cute. It was really sweet. Like, the characters are really interesting, and there's just enough character building that it feels full. It doesn't feel lacking, even though it's a short little piece. And similarly, one of the things I mentioned that was not my favorite about the overall book was that I wanted a little bit more straight up exposition, and I didn't feel that with this short story. And I think part of that is literally just I've read another book in this world already, so like I already have a lot of the world building in my head. But also, this is a really contained little story. Like I mentioned that the overall story is pretty contained to two characters in their heads, but this one is like, it's one town and it's all basically in one character's head. And like, yeah, there's action, but it's pretty quick and most of it is about feelings because it is very much, yes, a romance. And that means that it just doesn't really need as much world building. And what was needed was very quickly given and moved on. And so overall, I feel like this one worked really well, and it made me like the characters enough that I want to read more in their world. And once again, it had some really interesting characters. I'm really loving the fact that Will Forrest is finding, like, characters are not usually written about. One of the main characters in The Marvelous Mr. Strike is someone who was born into slavery and has a skin condition where he has, lack of pigment in some of his skin. And, that gives a very interesting look to him. But also he has electricity powers, which I've seen electricity powers before in, like, anime, but needless to say, that's not as fully explored as it is in a little romance novella. But overall, I feel like this one was just fun. It was worth a read. So yeah, if you get Sky's Fall, you'll enjoy the book, and you'll enjoy the little novella at the end. Or at least I did.